first day of residency. First day truly being responsible for your own patients, even though you feel like you are in med school. It's kind of a different level now, and that's scary. There's a lot of different reasons that it's scary. There's the social pressure. You don't want to look stupid in front of either peers or attendings. There's obviously the pressure to actually do right for your patients. That's probably the scariest part. Also, there's just the fear of the unknown, like what's it going to be like to work 80 hours a week for most of the months, because it's 6 days a week, 12 hours minimum, but you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to use the EMR. When I say you don't, I mean me. Nobody feels like they know what they're doing on the first day, and everyone makes it out one way or another. So I hope I'm not the exception. I don't have much time before sign out, so I need to eat, I need to study, and I need to shower quick. So let's get to it.
As dawn breaks the darkness, a new day begins. I feel cold and heartless. I've run myself thin, like the distant star. Have you traveled far? I miss you in my arms. You're like my lucky charm. Are you happier now, love? Still wander the city streets. It's getting easier with love, though you're the beat of my aching heart. Happier, happier, are you happier, my heart? Happier, happier, are you happier, my aching heart? I see you in my dreams. I'm about to ask how you've been. My bed's huge, my roof's low. The walls are caving in, like a distant star. Have you traveled far? I miss you in my arms. You're like my lucky charm. Are you happier now?
Feels so official. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm gonna be exposed very quickly for being an intern, not even because I'm lost or I don't know what I'm doing, but because I can't put on the white coat without smiling pretty stupidly. So I'm sure you get used to it, but it feels pretty awesome now. Especially because at my med school at Mayo, we didn't use white coats. So I've worn one, like a fake lab coat, for a week or two on some rotation, but I've never really worn a white coat short or long. So feels pretty awesome, I'm not gonna lie. I have to run in literally a few seconds because I wanna be early. But there are a few things that are going through my mind pretty rapidly, even in the last few days. But before that, I've done the best I can to summarize the thoughts that have kind of been looping in my brain. It's not comprehensive, but it's a start. Number one is I'm trying my best to, despite the anxiety of it and despite the nerves, trying to remember to enjoy it for what it is, because I know a lot of doctors look back fondly on their first few days or their first year or first few years, kind of because of the struggle, but still, I wanna make sure to remember to be there in the moment. Number two is, and this happened to me last night when I was trying to fall asleep, there was a lot of anxiety about the next day, and also, to be honest with you, maybe breaking the fourth wall, but like filming, I haven't touched a camera in forever. But honestly, and this is easier said than done, but I try to remind myself as much as I can, when you take that moment to realize, and it's an overused word, but like the privilege of you being where you're at. And I'll only speak for myself, like I'm in a nice apartment, I feel safe, I'm doing the job that I love, but you feel beyond thankful, appreciative. And literally last night I was worried I was gonna have trouble sleeping. But when I had that thought and I'm like, I'm a little stressed about my first day and I'm a little stressed about filming, and I realized those were the problems I had for the next day, I literally laughed and went to sleep so easy, because you kind of have to laugh at yourself. You can't take yourself that seriously. Your brain can go down different roads, you know, the road more traveled or less traveled. So if you choose anxiety, stress versus appreciation and positivity, not that those are opposites, you're going to be more hardwired to follow that path. And when I was reflecting on it a little bit, it applies to so many things. Like for the gym, that's something I used to tell myself all the time. If you leave early now, every single time you want to quit your workout early, it's going to get easier and easier because that's the road you travel more. If you wake up early, it's going to be easier and easier because that's the road you travel more. But the point is, you can adapt to anything. So I'm trying to hardwire the positive thinking and I should really go before I run behind. But I'll check in on you hopefully at lunch-ish. All right, gotta go.
I told you every single time, don't you worry. You would always call me at the wrong time, so you could know what I was up to. Oh, don't you get that? It's just stupid. Hey, just hear me out. It's been a while since we were good, so why we dragging out when we've been doing everything we could? I don't wanna feel so lonely.
How was it?
Tonight.
As bad as I thought it was going to be.
Why not?
Because, I saw so many patients, and we rounded like all day, which was kind of terrible, to
Yeah.
be honest. But, I don't know, day flew by because we were busy the entire time.
Why did you expect it to be rough?
Because it's inpatient, it's the floors.
What are the floors?
So you're doing inpatient. I am. So you're just covering all of the floors of the hospital. You're going and seeing the patients, making sure that they're doing okay. So it's not like the sickest patients in the hospital. It's like everybody else.
Okay, well my question is medicine worth it?
It's worth it if you're in it for the right reasons.
What does that mean?
As in, like, you work the day that I work today, 12-hour shift, right? And it doesn't suck, right? You want to come back the next day.
Well, how many 12-hour shifts? Surely it's just a one-time thing.
Oh, I wish.
How many days a week?
Well, I'm working the next 8 days.
8
but
days.
You didn't hear that from me.
How does it compare to med school? I know you just started, but day one, residency versus med school.
Definitely better than med school, because at least they feed me. It's free, so.
Fair enough.
Okay, I forgot to mention the paycheck. Paycheck's a
Yes.
big incentive as well.
They don't pay you in med school?
I wish.
What happens instead?
I just accumulate debt. It's
Debt?
the opposite.
Oh, you have to pay to go to med school.
Yes, I'm like $500,000 in debt.
That's amazing. And you have to pay to go to undergrad.
Yes. So I've been in school for so long.
So surely you're making tons of money now as a resident.
Oh gosh, I wish. I wish I could be like, I just bought a new car.
Well, what advice do you have to give to the people?
Make sure you actually want it, because otherwise med school is like the biggest scam ever. You know, because then you're working long hours. Like, I have residency for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
And then I start paying off my loans.
This feels so official, like an interview setup, NBA postgame, which was my first dream job, but this is my second one. First day starting on ICU was crazy. Every time I told somebody that my schedule starts with ICU, they're like, no, it's a mistake, because supposedly interns aren't supposed to start with ICU to protect their sanity. But I was the lucky one who started first, apparently. But I'm actually happy about it the more I think of it. I'd rather know that I can handle this, and then the rest is not necessarily easy, but if I can prove to myself I can do this, the rest should be at least doable somewhat, hopefully. So I was telling you guys how I felt about wearing the white coat for the first time, and I was giddy and all these things, and immediately the service starts and people are dying. It was pretty intense, especially for me, because number one, it's the first day and there's other things going on, but also in med school when I did ICU, it was during COVID visitor hour rules, so nobody could come visit the patient really, except for maybe one person maximum. And now we have whole families coming, just sobbing. And you'd think that dying is dying no matter what, but when you see other people's emotions, obviously on their sleeve, given the situation, it makes it that much more real. So contrast that with this giddiness and honestly, partially naivety. The contrast was stark, and I immediately got thrown into the day. That said, I am beyond lucky because my team is super supportive. One thing that also hit me like a truck was that this was my dream job and I've accomplished my dream goal. Like, there's MD behind my name now, and I'm a doctor. I still can't believe it when I say it out loud. And you would think I would know by now because I graduated and I had a whole year to anticipate that graduation, but none of it really hit me like understanding wise, because, and I'll be honest with you, I was so focused on surviving med school and doing it well both for myself and that so that I would match into my ideal specialty, being dermatology, that graduating and matching felt more like a relief. But the real realization and the real satisfaction only hit now when for the first time ever I walk into the room, hi, I'm Dr. Shahin, I'm an intern. Crazy. You realize over time that success is like climbing stairs. And when you have a big challenge and a big step and a big hurdle that you have to overcome, and you do that, it feels amazing. It's overwhelming how good it feels, reminiscing about how hard it was to get there. That's why third year of medical school, when I went MIA, I mean, it's kind of PTSD, but I love thinking back at that time because I'm thinking about how hard I worked and I was locked in, and I'm proud of myself for that. It's sincerely that it just doesn't taste as good when it's not challenging. So if you have an uncertainty about it being hard, you're understanding it wrong. The fact that it's hard should excite you. But my point is, if you see what I'm doing and you're like, could never be me, are you sure about that?